Hello, this is Vance, and this is Thursday, March the 19th, 2015. And these are CL trades for today using the slow hand method for price action. Well, again, it was another kind of a range day more than anything else. We had this trading down from the overnight, from a high of the price open at 46.61, and right from the beginning it traded all the way down to 44.77. So we had basically a $2 decline till near the open, and let's see how this kind of really played its way out. When I first got down here, I didn't get down here until really just before 9 o'clock. So let me just kind of put this out here a little bit and take a larger view of this. When price got to, you can see price really traded on this narrow channel, and really until about 8:30. I put a slightly shallower channel down here, so you can see that price is moving its way down. And when you see these little bars like this, moving its way down, that's a pretty strong trend. But then we had a pullback just before the open. Price kind of fell off again and then went into the sideways kind of capitulation. Now the problem with this, and if I bring this chart down here, you can see that it's a pretty tight trading range here. You've got all these side-by-side bars. We had this decline right off of just 9 o'clock. We had this first drop from 23 down to 82. So we had basically a 40-tick drop, 41-tick drop down to here, sideways, attempted to go lower, and this is really the break of this channel right here. So we had the break. We had two pullbacks, a first pullback, second pullback to the EMA, and this is really the trade that I was looking at, really the first trade. This is really at 10 o'clock. Now, why do I like this trade? I like this trade. It's an aggressive trade, more importantly because we really have this capitulation. Now, apart from this area here, this area gathered up here, we're really in a sideways motion. Now, do you see it kind of falling off? I don't see it from that perspective. So when you pull down this area, wrong. Let me pull down this support. When I looked at support from across here, you can see that there's some capitulation here. Across these bottoms, these double bottoms, and to the left-hand side of the chart, price makes its way down. So you have this first pullback, second pullback off the EMA. Reasonably, it's a trade thinking that we're going to maybe test this area here, maybe move its way up. Now, it didn't make its way up here, then pull back again. So we have the first pullback, second pullback. You would have just cleared off your 15 ticks. Now, this is no question about it. This would be an aggressive trade. That's why I marked it in green. But we had another pullback. You can see now that these areas, just kind of move this in here. You're seeing that these areas right here, and looking for support across this area, right in this area, right here. And maybe not so much here. It's a little bit lower. But the support in this area looked like more impetus for going long in this case. So let me just kind of move this out here so you can just have a better perspective of when you look at the chart from this perspective. When it's a little bit longer, you can see it's a little bit more definitive. 15-tick stop box would put us right down below this area here. Second entry long off of this doji. Now, you probably wait until this bar closed. It's a pretty strong bar. Now, you only have initially from here to here. It gives you some room to get out, so that's why I marked it as aggressive trades. Not quite 15 ticks to the target, but as you can see, it moved its way up. It did just make its way back. Now, had you got in on this trade, you would have gotten your 15 ticks out, and if you held on to it, you would be able to move it. It would moved its way up. When price came back down, it was your first pullback, second pullback to this area, another second entry, basically a second entry long here. And what I mean by second entry long, if you pull back to this area, this is the first area, pulls back, second pouring down at a second entry long. If you look at a shorter time frame, you'll see that as a second entry long on a shorter time frame. Again, it moved its way up and tested this, pulled back again, and you can see off the EMA and off this trend line right here that I've got it marked out. From here, once this trend line kind of just going to pull down here like this, as you can see off of here. Anytime price touched this line right here, kind of give it impetus for it to go higher. Double it, move it up to the tops, and this is where the target was. So you see first pullback, second pullback, moved up here, and this back down again. Fairly strong bar, so you could say this is the first pullback, pulled back down to here, and really a second. Now this is a more aggressive trade again. I marked it in green, on the basis of you get limit in as long as your limit in was below these areas. I think it was reasonable to try to get really test these tops and go higher. And you can see that when it double topped at this area and just moved its way higher. Again, off the EMA, we have this first pullback, fails, second pullback. Now, this is really a second entry. It's kind of like a second entry long off of here, but it's not a really great bar. But as you can see, when price came down here, tested down here, it worked out as a trap. I marked it in green, a little bit of stacking up overlap on this case, but I'm thinking, from this portion, we have price moved up here, and then it looks like it's a continuation pattern. Price trades up into this relatively tight trading range, and then the idea is that it might trade up and out of it. So if you look at it from here, price traded up to here to this area, across this range, pulls back, and then trades up and out. So if you call this from this area here, this one is from a tight trading range, looking at maybe moving up to this area. So there's enough room to get out here, but as you can see, price kind of moved its way up. I marked this as a trade. Oops, let me see. I marked this as a trade as well because what I was also thinking is that maybe this is going to be a measured move. So we have moved here. Again, we pull back now. We're above the EMA. It's a relatively strong bar. I was really thinking that we might have, this was the first day, because nothing's close is close enough in trading. We had two pullbacks. I was thinking that it would maybe continue to move its way up, but it wasn't to be the case. Now, it would have given you 15 ticks, but it's an aggressive trade. I would think that if you're at this level, it would be kind of doubtful to take a trade, because if you're in on these ones down here, by the time trades get out here, it's probably extending it a little bit. But again, if you're an aggressive trader, that might make more sense to take that trade had you been on these ones here. But that was something else. That's something to consider. Second entry short right here. I didn't mark it, but you can see that price makes a low. First entry pulled back. Second entry, it's really like what they call a shooting star on a turnaround. You never know price is going to come back down this area, and as I said, like it could go higher. This might be this is the first leg pullback, second leg, with some capitulation here. But I'll just show you first or second. So if you look at here, you have the first pullback. You can see price come up second, and there's not a lot of room for this area. You might take a short there. I didn't mark it, even though you're extended from the EMA. You don't know whether the turnaround is going to occur, and so you really don't know. This had really me concerned more than anything else. This decline from the overnight. I mean, we could go down. We could continue to fall away and follow that pattern and go significantly lower. But you can see that price really, like buyers stepped in and felt that it was oversold and pulled the price back up to here. But you can see there's really where I thought we might make an assault on the opening price, but it kind of ran out of gas at this area. So when price turned around, this is a pretty steep decline, and so now you're saying that we had a break of this trend channel, we had a pullback, and now even though these are pretty strong bars, and this is a second entry long off of here, until we see definite movement up or a better bar to go long on, I wouldn't recommend it, particularly when you have the depth of this and because of this strong move down. So what you're looking at from here is that because we have this strong move, let's call it right down to this area, you say that this would be really a pullback to here. We have price move down, we have pullback, price move down again, another pullback, and so you're looking at like first pullback fails, second pullback, and so this could be considered because we have already a break of this trend channel. We might go maybe retest this area down here, but I marked it in green. I mean, is it worth taking? I don't know. It's you have to kind of, on the basis of this strong downturn, maybe. But as you can see, it's just worked its way down. This was really strong trend down to here. When price gets down here, this is second entry short. I marked this one off this EMA, off the trend channel. Again, another pretty aggressive trade, to take a short down here because of the stems on these particular candles. So again, it was like really questionable to there's no real place to get in. Had you get in here, we'd be fortunate enough to get in here. You could have played this all the way down to this area. I mean, this one here, but these, is really not a real clear signal from that perspective. When price gets down here, you can see the capitulation. Here's a second entry long right here. Let's take a look at the second entry long. Price makes new high. First entry pulled back. Second entry long right here. Another opportunity, but then it goes into the sideways capitulation, basically. Long stems, you see the price is attempting to go down, but it can't. It can't hold. And so it comes back out of here. It makes another attempt, a retest. And so when it gets down to this level, you can see right across here, Price is respecting this level of 44.9, so it really can't get below 45 with any authority. So it looks like the line in the sand here is really $45. Anything below $45, so taking long. And this, here's a second entry long in this pretty strong bar. Price of breakout, pullback long here, and that's pretty much the end of the day. Now, and this is, as you can see, price is starting to move up again. So off of the low of $45, we're up at $45.75, and now this is the end of the day. So that's basically what I saw as far as trading was concerned. It was more interested in the area around here. That was, this turned out to be pretty good. Didn't get on these shorts. I wasn't here for that. So because I was gone prior to noon. I was gone pretty early, so there was not. I wasn't here for these ones right here. But that's the way it turned out as far as the rest of the day was concerned. So pretty decent day, more so like an inside day more than anything else. If you look at it, we traded up. Where we're going to go tomorrow, I'm not sure. I think that the line, anything below $45 is pretty that territory at this point in time. I mean, we had the low yesterday of this low yesterday was at 44.40. So 60 ticks down there, but today it didn't get quite that low or stay below $45. So we'll see how it works out tomorrow. Anyway, that's it for now. This is Vance. If you have any questions, please let me know. Bye for now.